So we've covered the Loot Crate by Loot Crate. Now it's time to look at what Nerd Block is offering with both their Horror Block and Nerd Block Classic. So this is a double feature, just not a science fiction double feature. But boy, would I love to have those lips singing through my videos. My floating lips are just kind of creepy and hairier. So let's start with the Horror Block. Also, let's add some moody music and find out what's in the box. What's in the box? What, my Furby? What are you doing? What in the world just happened? But anyways, the first big item, just like with most loot crates, is this fancy antsy t-shirt, which features our favorite alien Xenomorph, just waiting to have a cute little baby burst through your chest. Don't worry, other me, we don't have the budget for that. Or to show you the clip from the movie. The next big item is this figure or toy from the Saw franchise. And I got the Jigsaw Killer from Saw 3, along with a little Jigsaw and his tricycle. Oh, just so cute. I like it, even though obviously it's just gonna be something that stays unopened on my shelf forever. Like a true hoarder, collector. You also get a classic EC horror comic, which of all these collectible subscription boxes will probably be the only comic I'm actually willing to read. At least for now, anyways. It's Tales from the Crypt, and while I've actually never read any of them before, I love the TV series, so I'm just gonna dig right into it whenever I feel like reading. Tomorrow. Another magazine you'll be getting, which is currently slated to be in each horror block, is Rue Morgue. It's a magazine covering a lot of things surrounding the horror genre. You have reviews and articles on various medias, ranging from movies to comics to games, music, and so much more. If you're big in the horror scene, I definitely say this is a must. Unless you hate reading. Because let's be honest here, reading is painful and makes your eyes bleed. Now for those fancy antsy throwaway items. The most useful of the two is this fancy bone pin. If I knew it wouldn't ruin my professionalism at work and it could just clip to my pocket, I would probably use this every single day till it ran out of ink. Unfortunately enough, there isn't a real way to change out the pin if you run out of ink. Well, what a bummer. I mean, femur. That was a bad joke. And lastly, we have this zombie decal that you can put on your car if you so happen to choose to. I chose not to, as I'm not really the decal-y person. But if you are, then I'm sure you'll get a kick out of it. And hopefully you don't have anyone deciding to pop a cap in your bumper due to being drunk and thinking the zombie apocalypse has happened. It's happened to me before, and I said I'm sorry, Clarice. And with that last item, let's wash off the dread, guts, and brains all over the place and brine the mood with the Nerd Block Classic, which provides an assortment of toys across the Nerdverse. Now, just like the horror block, you'll get a fancy t-shirt. This month features a Sounds of the Galaxy mixtape t-shirt. And you know what would be really amazing? If they also provided a real mixtape to go along with that. I mean, how many of you even know what a mixtape is? Please don't make me feel old. I'm not even that old yet. So for the next big item, we have this fancy TMNT papercraft set. I mean, I love doing these things, except those times I majorly mess them up. And it's on one of my old favorites, the Turtles! Except they're missing April O'Neil and Casey. I mean, you get the Turtle Van, why can't we get everybody? There's a bunch of just dudes in a hard shell, if you know what I mean. If turtles aren't your thing, then maybe STDs are. We get chlamydia this month, and it's just what I've always wanted. You can get a spot right next to my HIV that I just happen to have in this petri dish right here. I'm getting down with you, sickness. You also get 2 blind boxes, and first up is the Scribblenauts Unmasked Blind Box. And I got a Red Lightning Superman. And you know that's real good when you have to Google to find out what it is. God, why couldn't I have gotten Spider-Man? Marvel. And for our second blind box, it's a Marvel Mega Bloks blind bag. And there's only one way to find out what's inside. Please be a Spider-Man. Who the freak is this guy? Is it the guy from the John Carter movie? John Carter, I guess? Oh, wait, turns out he's Whiplash. Somebody I'll assume is freaking amazing with those blue whips or whatever the heck they are. I mean, maybe if I watched Iron Man 2, I would be so up in this, but I haven't. I'm sorry, Mom. And lastly, you get a little stress ball brain. Just what I always need after a stressful day. Also, it works the brain. So guys, the big question is, just like with Loot Crate, is the Nerd Bloks really worth it? Well, just like with Loot Crate, that's going to depend on you. You might look at the figure, the comic, the t-shirts, and everything else and think it's super amazing, but I bet some of you out there are a little bit underwhelmed at it, just like with those same people that are amazed at it. And unfortunately, that's a downfall to a lot of these subscription boxes. They vary from month to month, and sometimes it might be super amazing for one person one month, but horrible for them the next month. However, I must say, I like Nerd Blok a little bit better. Then again, it's $10 more, so you get a little bit extra with it as compared to the Loot Crate. But they offer different boxes for you. So you have your Nerd Blok for more of a generic nerd-related stuff, your Horror Blok for horror-related stuff, and if you're a kid, you have kids, or maybe even a child at heart, there are Nerd Blok Juniors for boys and girls. So that's also another option. And recently they announced an arcade block, which is more of a game-centric box. And if I heard correctly, you might be getting a free game in those boxes as well. So since I'm more of a gamer, I'm definitely excited about those as compared to some of these other ones. Definitely the ones with comic book stuff. I'm not a big fan of that stuff because I'm not a big comic person. However, with all that in mind, I have to give the service and also these boxes my highest non-sequestered ranking of great. So guys, thank you for watching, and as always, if you liked the video, please hit the like and comment down below, and subscribe if you aren't, and share it with your friends, because the more friends we have, the better it is, the more likely it is I can do a lot more of these reviews. So in the meantime guys, click on one of these 2 videos to watch another video here at Level Down Reviews.